It's Monday, March 11th, 2024, and we're in Brisbane, Australia. We went to the Lone Pine Koala Sanctuary, part of our day in Brisbane, and while we were there, we stopped in the kangaroo enclosure, and we were free to interact with these. There's probably several hundred kangaroos in there, at least 200. And they're quite domesticated. The sanctuary brings in these either orphaned or injured kangaroos, and they rehabilitate them, and when they're capable, they can get re-released back into the wild. And if they can't be rehabilitated completely, they're allowed to live there, completely taken care of. It's probably a 10-acre section of the park where these kangaroos are allowed to roam free, and we're allowed to go in and interact with them freely. There's no danger of them becoming violent or injuring. They're so used to being around humans in the sanctuary. It was really fun. You could pet them. You could get as close to them as you wanted. There were even little tiny kids petting them like pets at home. It was a really unique experience for us to be so close to these beautiful animals. You can see that they have their front arms are like T-Rex arms. They're real short, but they also have some pretty significant claws. And so in the wild, you wouldn't dare do this because they would likely turn violent on you, and they can really do some damage with the claws, especially kicking with their back legs. So it was surprising. They didn't give us any instructions at all when we got there about how to interact with them. You go through a double door enclosure so none can get out. So you have to go in one door, close the first one, and then open the second door before you can go in and be around the animals. But it was really an amazing experience. There's all different kinds of kangaroos in there. I don't know if any of them are wallabies or not. I don't know enough about them to know the difference, but I know there's some gray kangaroos and red ones in there, and you'll see a red one in a minute or two behind a shelf. What was also unique about this experience was that somebody said there were 230 some odd folks off of our ship here on this one day in the same place. So there were multiple tours arranged for folks off the ship, but we had a special tour arranged by Cecilia, and most of our closest cruise buddies were here. There's a red kangaroo right there, little guy. So I was using my 360 camera to film this video, and of course it's got a extension you can see there in the shadow, so I could put the camera as close to the animals as I wanted without me having to get so close. Here's a joey. It looks like it's trying to get inside the pouch of the mom kangaroo there. I don't know if it was nursing or not. We really couldn't tell. But when you get around the other side here, you'll see he's trying to get in the pouch. And mom was kind of holding him in there. So we're trying to figure out what you call a group of kangaroos. I don't know if it's a herd or a whatever, a bevy, a herd, a group. We don't know. We never did figure it out. That was amazing how content they all seemed to be. And you could buy food. There's a store that we didn't stop at before we went in. You can buy a bag of kangaroo food, and you can actually feed them out of your hand, which a lot of people were doing. We weren't smart enough to stop and get some before we went in there. Small part of our uh, experience here at the sanctuary, and I decided to publish the video of the kangaroos separate. It's about 7.5 minutes long, and I'll make another one showing the rest of the things that we saw at the sanctuary, but I thought kangaroos were fascinating enough. They deserve their own clip. And then what was also interesting was there's a bunch of lizards all over the place. I think they were water monitors that were roaming freely around. I've got some pictures of those, which I'll put in the other clip of Brisbane. But we had a wonderful trip today, and this sanctuary was just one part of it, and love to go back.